God, is it hot in here or what? Jeez. Sustanon 250, week number 6, my dudes. We've lost 2 inches around the waist so far, and we're still up 6 pounds. I added in 2 ancillary products in week 6, which has really helped me, and I think it's really going to help you too. And I tried something new this week, and it did not go according to plan. And by popular demand, I'm going to show you my chest workout so you can maximize your upper chest area, the shelf area. You can really feel that squeeze. If you haven't seen weeks 1 through 5 yet, go check those out first. Come back to this one. Week 6 benefits. Let's get it. Still doing just 1 pill a day, week 6. Really helps mitigate some of the side effects when compared to 2 pills a day. And I'm still feeling really good. Physique update for week 6. Like I mentioned, I think we gained 8 pounds originally while we were bulking, but now since we moved to cutting, we're at 6, but we've lost 2 inches around the waist. We're really starting to tighten up here, and I'm really, really happy with this. After you own the weight, so I've gained 6 pounds, but once you own the weight, meaning that you've been at that 6 pounds additional for a little while now, your body will start to get rid of some of the side effects like breathing issues and some joint pain and some other issues that may come along with that. So it's really important that we recognize that we have to stay at a surplus for an extended period of time in order to get that weight. Now, keep in mind, I started this at a surplus because I was bulking and now I'm coming back down. So it's kind of like a little recomp mid-cycle. So if you recall, we started this journey about 3,500 calories and we were going to work our way up to 3,700, maybe even 4,000 because that was a bulk, but we changed strategies because it was more effective for us to cut with it. So now we started at 3,500, we're now at 2,900. So that's 600 calories down. The hunger pains are very real. It takes some serious adjusting to get used to. And I made a change to my workout that I also want to talk to you about in a second. But first, a lot of you have been asking me about my supplements and what I've been eating on a regular basis. So we're going to break down supplements real quick. I take 4 every single day. We've got fish oil for joint health. We've got citrus bergamot for heart health as well as inflammation. We've got berberine for cholesterol as well as sildenafil or Cialis, which I take once a week for blood pressure. So here's what an average day of eating looks like. I typically log in MyFitnessPal, have a shake in the morning, 300 grams of oats, a banana, a scoop of protein, and some super greens. For a midday snack, in between lunch, I'll eat an RX bar. And then typically for lunch, I'll eat some sort of lean meat. So yesterday was 6 ounces of pork, 2 cups of cooked rice and broccoli. For dinner, 6 ounces of steak, 2 cups of rice and asparagus. And then for a snack before I go to bed, Greek yogurt, some walnuts, and an English muffin. I like to eat carbs before bed because it releases serotonin and helps me fall asleep a little quicker. I know that that's probably not the healthiest route. That's just what I do. I changed my workout frequency from 3 days a week to 4 days a week. And some of you might be asking, well, why the heck are you doing that? You're down 600 calories. Why would you add in more? But I'm really not adding in more. It's understanding that we have 3 different levers: intensity, frequency, and volume. Intensity is typically what I like to focus on when I'm bulking because I can just get more out of it, right? I can push harder. But when we're at a calorie deficit, it's a little harder to do that. So instead, what I like to do is decrease the intensity and then increase the frequency. So frequency being the number of days I work out. I just work out at about 50 to 75% of what I would intensity-wise during a bulk. And then, of course, you have volume, which I don't really mess around with when I'm cutting, but that's going to be your weight times reps times sets. And as promised, here are 3 of my favorite chest workouts, which I believe are crucial and the most important in terms of developing that nice round chest look as well as the upper shelf. The upper shelf is this little line right here. Very few people have it. A lot of people have big chests, but because they don't focus on this, you'll really stand out if you do. So my first favorite exercise is going to be dumbbell incline press. Now, not barbell. It's going to put too much wear and tear on the rotator cuff, but we still want to hit that front delt. So we use dumbbells as well as it's going to hit this guy right here, upper chest. But you really got to focus on the upper chest. Keep those elbows in all the way down and focus in up and really squeeze at the top. The next one's going to be flat dumbbell press. Dumbbell, not barbell. Again, rotator cuff issues, the most prevalent injury in our space. Avoid this by using dumbbells. It removes some of that wear and tear there. And this is going to be really your bread and butter exercise. And the last one, which is my favorite, where we really focus in on the upper shelf, is going to be anything pec deck fly related. I personally love pec deck. And how I do this is I put the seat almost as low as it goes, maybe to the second to the lowest. And then the handles, I keep parallel with my elbows. And so you should see just right in front of your face, right here. And as we squeeze, we want to really think about this area. So you want to keep the weight really, really light. Otherwise, you're going to start recruiting other muscle groups, other parts of your chest. So I also want to talk about feeder workouts, which Rich Piana often talked about. And that's actually where I got this from. But any lagging body part you have, you can really hone in on frequency. Remember, one of those levers we can press. And 2 for me were my calves and my forearms. Forearms have come a long way, though, since feeder workouts. What I really do is at the end of every workout, I either do 5 to 6 sets, high reps of calves or forearms. And you'll start to see development over time, but it's just one way. It's the same reason why plumbers have big forearms. Frequency. They're hitting it all the time. And if you're getting value from this, if you wouldn't mind tapping that like button, I would love to get this information out to as many people as possible. And side effects wise, last week I mentioned my libido was high. It is now down, as well as my energy. Don't be fooled. This is passion. I'm very, very tired. As we approach the calorie deficit, we're down again 600 calories. When this happens, our metabolism crashes with it slowly over time. That hunger that we have hunger pains, but we're not really hungry. Our energy starts to wane and we just don't feel as good. My libido is not gone, but it's also not as high. This is going to happen anytime we're in a calorie deficit. As for the thing I tried this week that didn't go too well, I know some of you here are on TRT and you're stacking Prohormones with it, but here's something that you may not have known. If you go intermuscularly with TRT versus subcutaneously, supposedly subcutaneously reduces some of the estrogenic side effects. Well, I tried that, and this is what that looked like. You can see some severe inflammation around that area. Now it's gone, but it hurt like hell. And if you are on TRT and are tired of all the scar tissue and tired of all the pain that you feel every time you inject, well, the doctor's not going to tell you this. And this is not medical advice, but you can absolutely use an insulin syringe. I've been using it for years now. The oil will fit through it. And if you're not comfortable with that, well, you can heat it up as well. I promise you, it's a game changer. Very little scar tissue. So it's been a couple weeks since I brought up my AI, but weeks 1 through 5, I ran a Rimastane. And then week 5, I decided to throw in a Rimaplex to help with some of the side effects. But because a Rimaplex also contains a Rimastane, we tossed the Rimastane and now are taking a Rimaplex once every 3 days. Guys, we are 2 weeks away from the final completion of Sustanon 250, where we're going to be showing the full bloods, all the results. I cannot wait to share that with you. And next cycle, it's going to be Trinabol. Would love to get your thoughts on it. I know this is a popular one, very misunderstood. There's not any information on it. I know some of you have run it. Love to get your comments about it. Until the end of this week, stay safe and stay swole, my brothers.